Ren and Stimpy, man.
Fucking powdered toast, man.
Yeah.
Ashley bought that for me fucking God knows where.
That's fucking great, though. Like, it's real funny because I was looking... I was looking at old Ren and Stimpy videos from like back in the 90s and late shit like that, dude. And I'm just watching, was like, what the fuck was I thinking when I was watching these things as a kid, man?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, dude, like it was really like snot and boogers and like just like really. If you look at the artwork behind it, man, it looks really fucking good.
It does.
When they do like, you know, it'll be just animated and all like they'll like zoom up on like, you know, Stimpy's sick or something like that, and they'll zoom up on his face, and it's just like this painting of him, just like, and it's just wonderful. It's just gross and wonderful.
You know, it's the same thing. I look back and like Beavis and Butthead and all those wonderful '90s cartoons that absolutely warped our entire generation into these fucking just sick, degenerate people we become, man. And it's good though. It's history. It's what makes us who we are.
Yeah. Well, it's like my buddy Nick Mundy said. You know, like back in the day, our parents were totally cool taking us to RoboCop.
Yeah.
In the movie theater, and it's like, oh, we're gonna go and see this fucking, you know, this cyborg cop and stuff like that. The kids are gonna love it.
Killed everything.
Yeah, dude, and the whole movie is blood squibs. Like it should have been called Blood Squib the movie. Like for real. I'd buy that. Hey, we're rolling. I'm Tony Tubes. This is my buddy Will Robinson. And yeah, we're just talking. Will was actually the very first episode of Silver Screen Showdown, not the one that we aired, because the first episode we aired was with Adam St. Paul and Kurt Campbell and such. But Will was at the first taping. You were a part of that was my crash course in Silver Screen Showdown.
One of these days it's going to be on, you know, a big screen, iconic. It's going to have us three, and then you like holding us up, like, what's up?
Oh yeah, like, let's go back to the pilot, man.
No, that was a lot of fun, man. Of course, I don't know absolutely shit about movies, but I figured, hey, I'd, you know, just take a stab at it.
Yeah, you don't have to know anything about movies. Just come and have fun. And hey, sometimes like people that come in there and they're just like, dude, I'm gonna suck so bad, and like some of them fucking whoop some ass, man.
You know, I think I came in dead last though, if I remember right. Because what was her name? Sarah. She absolutely fucking wiped the floor with me, and then
Brandon was at the table too, and he's got the know-how and the knowledge.
Dude, I could not believe just the endless knowledge he has on fucking movies. It was astonishing.
Yeah.
I was blown away. Just blown away.
I'm still waiting. Like he's been working on a movie for like since that day.
Yeah.
He's been working on a movie called like Tales of American Hood Rat, and I've been waiting for it, and I keep seeing like updates about it, but you know, he's taking his fucking Scorsese time with it, man. Shit.
Well, he wants to make sure it's perfect, man.
Absolutely.
You know, there's nothing wrong with being a perfectionist.
Absolutely.
Especially when it's something that's a labor of love. You really want to make sure it's done right.
Yeah.
Like you are with the podcast, and you are with the SSS, man. You make sure everything's perfect.
I don't think I'm that diligent.
Well, diligent than more so than I've seen others.
Yeah.
You know,
the thing is like with season 1 versus season 2, I honestly had a lot more fun on season 1 just because it was me flipping cards and I just had some papers in front of me. With season 2, I was doing all the computer work for the PowerPoint and everything, and it wasn't like, I don't mean to toot my own horn here or anything, but like it wasn't, I didn't feel like I was like I came off as charming and as funny as the first one, because the first one, all I had to do was flip cards and read something off of paper. The second one, I'm constantly moving about on the computer, and I didn't have enough time to interact with the contestants as much, and it was fun. Season 2 was fun, but it wasn't as fun as season 1. And that fucking church was awesome.
Dude, it really was. Like, I'll walk in there. I'm afraid to cuss. I'm just like, I don't want to be me right now. You know, I don't I don't want him to come down and just strike me in the top of the forehead, you know. So I really tried not to be who I normally am inside that place.
I actually sang I sang a verse from Strange Wilderness. Did you ever see that movie with Steve Zahn and shit?
Yes.
And they're showing like clips of their bad bloopers and stuff like that, and they're at like this rally and a guy's like on fire and shit, and you just hear this music in the background going, "Jesus doesn't live here anymore." And I sang that in that church, and all of a sudden I was going,
just looking for the roof to open up to swallow you whole.
you know, speaking of church, like just speaking of all this stuff, I want to ask this, and I mean, if you have an opinion, you have an opinion. If not, whatever. And even if your opinion differs from mine, that's fine. But like, what do you think of this whole? By the end of the year, they have to have "In God We Trust" prominent in every single school in America.
Well, my opinion is prayer and stuff should be brought back to school, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. I remember when I was in like middle school and junior high and stuff growing up, we had, you say the Pledge of Allegiance in the morning, then you say a prayer after that, and throughout the day, anytime that you would want to be excused from like class to go say a prayer, you could. That was the school that I grew up in. And, I left that school and I graduated high school and I went on to college, and I'm just like, where's all the fucking prayer at, man? Nobody prays anymore. Nobody stops and actually takes the time to thank somebody else. Everybody's in such a big fucking hurry. And it's really kind of sad. I think prayer in school teaches kids that they're not so much there's a higher power, but it gives them something to hope and believe in. Gives them a course of direction, I guess, if you should think that way.
I don't know. I kind of disagree, but still agree with you. Like, when I was in high school, I remember there was this kind of like a hoopla over, we were using this room in the basement they were using it for, my buddy was trying to like get like a school talk show going or something, he was trying to be creative, and I was trying to help him out. But then there was this whole hoopla between him and the Muslim population of our school, because we actually had a pretty good Muslim population in our school, and they petitioned to use the room for prayer and such, and they ended up getting it, and I was actually happy with that. I mean, it sucked that we had to leave the space we were in, but like, I think that it would be a fine idea to have some sort of a prayer place in school for people to go to, any religion.
I agree.
I've always kind of wanted to open up like a church of faith, and not God, not Buddha, not anything else, but just
denomination.
Whatever the fuck you believe in, as long as you want to believe in something, and you do believe in something, come into the church, and we're not going to sing hymns. We're not going to do any of that. I'll just sit up there and talk about real people doing real awesome shit for other people.
And that would be actually really, that's something that I would go to. Like, hardcore. The big reason I don't go to church and I don't do those types of things anymore is my faith has been so shaken and so rocked. It's unimaginable,
Yeah.
My biggest pet peeve is 90% of the churches that I'm from in the South are full of nothing but hypocrites.
In what way?
They want you to dress a certain way, be a certain way, act a certain way when you come through the doors. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be a certain way because you said it. I'm not going to act a certain way because you said it. I'm going to be me. If I can pray and do my worship in my living rooms in my boxers eating Cheetos, and I'm going to, and that's just what it is, though. It really is. It doesn't say anywhere in the Bible that anywhere that more than one person congregates is considered a church. Well, I can do that at home.
Right.
I don't need to go anywhere else.
See, when it goes back to the school thing, I just don't think that it needs to be like, prominent "In God We Trust" outside, because I mean, our nation is becoming so much more of a melting pot, and it's that is a certain thing. That's a certain people's certain thing. Not everybody is raised with God. Some kids are raised to not believe in God.
I agree.
My kids do the same shit to me that I did to my parents, and that was, my friends all go to church. Why don't I go to church? And then my parents would always say, if you want to go to church, but we don't go to church. Because they were raised strict, slap the shit out of you with the ruler Catholic.
Yeah.
And so they didn't want that for us at all. And so I never really got into church. And then when I actually started going to church, because the only time I ever went to church was I go stay over at Will's house. I wouldn't. We didn't know each other, but I'd go stay over at a friend's house, and his parents would be like, "Only if you go to church with us in the morning." And it's like, "Fuck, okay." And you want to know what I learned? Every single church I ever went to, I learned one thing at every single one, and that was how many ceiling tiles were in that particular church.
That's great. That's great.
I don't know, man.
I'm a believer. I have faith. I'm a believer, and many different things. I don't know if there's a he or a she up there, a guiding hand. I don't know. I've never seen it, and chances are I'm never going to see it. And that's okay. A person can have any kind of belief they want to have as long as they're good people. I believe in putting out good vibes, and being an overall nice person to anybody and everybody I meet. I don't really look for the bad in people. I look for the good.
Right.
Good is the most easiest thing to find if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. And you are like one of the nicest guys I ever fucking met.
I appreciate
like, for
it,
real.
man.
First time I saw you, I'm like, don't fuck with this guy. That smile came across your face and you were fucking around with somebody. Got someone in a fucking headlock.
I'm just a big teddy bear, man. I really am. I try. My grandpa raised us, not raised us, but he had a helping hand in raising us to be nice, decent gentlemen, and I really try to be that in every aspect of my life.
So, have you ever had any sort of a spiritual? Something spiritual happened to you? Like, did you ever seen a ghost or ever, like, I don't know, man. Some people just have a story,
I do have a story.
Okay.
It happened when I was, I think I was like 16. Shit, maybe I was younger than that. Anyways, I was working for Sonic out in. I
fucking love Sonic.
I love Sonic too.
Fucking love Sonic.
I grew up eating Sonic.
I fucking love that.
Sonic is great. Well, it was probably my second real job I ever had. And I was working, and I was going to school, high school. I was working in Dayton, Texas, which is the area that I'm from around that area.
Right.
And I don't know, it's probably, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and when I'm closing everything down, Sonic is closed, I'm cleaning everything away. And the girlfriend that I had at the time, well, she's passed away now, God rest her soul, her dad came and picked me up because I was going to stay the weekend with him. And we get leaving, and we're going out, and we're going back to his house, and we come over, or coming up to this big ass overpass, heading out towards Cleveland and fucking Dayton, Texas. And
Cleveland, Texas?
Cleveland, Texas.
All right.
Well, this motorcycle he's hauling ass behind us, man. You can fucking hear him. He's booking it, right? And I was with her dad, and there's like 2 cars behind us, and he just gets around all of us and goes to fucking overpass. And the next thing I know, man, he's fucking lights just flashing everywhere. He lost control, and he was smashing into the guardrails and smashing. It killed him. It killed him up there on the top of the overpass. Well, we stopped and we ran up the overpass. It's back when I could run. It was a lot smaller. We ran up the overpass, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching this guy. His head's crushed in. His bones sticking out of his arms, and his, he's breathing, but his eyes were just like gone. You know, he was breathing though. You know, you see his breath. It was kind of
involuntary. It was,
yeah.
Some functions were still moving around.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm just, what can you do?
Right.
You know, my girlfriend's dad's on the fucking phone calling the ambulance and stuff and the cops. And I'm sitting there watching this guy, and I'm young, and I'm just like, this is this craziest thing I ever seen in my life. And I watched him take his last breath, and his chest just sunk in. And now this is probably, I don't know, probably August, maybe September in Texas, which is still about, I don't know, 65, hot 75 degrees with like 80% humidity. It's still hot. And it just, on top of the overpass, man, it just got really super cold. Like, just so eerie feeling. Everything got super quiet. And that's the weirdest feeling I ever had in my life. Like something, like I felt like something was there, but I couldn't see anything. And then about 10 minutes after it got super cold, it got hot again, and it was over. I never felt it again, and it's fucking crazy.
That's fucked up, man.
I still have fucking nightmares about that shit, man.
Yeah, how could you not? You know, how could you not think about that?
It was pretty fucking intense.
Yeah, I have a couple. They're kind of, one of them's really short. Like, I don't know what I believe in.
Yeah.
You know, I honestly, in my eyes, we're all dumbasses. Nobody knows what the fuck's going on up there. If there's an up there, what's going to happen after this? Nobody knows. Some people say that they know, they died and they've been brought back, and you know, Nikki Sixx, I'm hovering over my fucking body and shit. Totally could be. I don't know. Yeah. But just in my eyes, religion, okay. So how many fucking people just died in the last couple days in church bombings?
Quite a few.
You know, it's church. You're supposed to be there. You're supposed to feel safe.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it was like the Big Bang Theory where like Sheldon said something like, you know, I'm baffled at the thought that God takes attendance, you know, at church and shit, you know, like that guy, you know, I don't know. All I know is that if there is a God and someday I'm standing at the pearly gates and I have to, you know, answer for some shit, I'm gonna be like, I got some questions for your ass.
Right.
You know, like I got some questions here, but you can send me down to hell right afterwards, but I got some.
You need to answer these questions first.
On the record. Right. But, so I don't know what I believe, but there's that whole, I mean, I know it's geeky, but there's the whole crow thing. You know, where the crow comes and ushers your soul to the land of the dead. I don't know. All I know is that fucking movie. You know, that's where I heard it, but I'm sure that it's based on something. But when my grandfather died out in Rapid back in, I think in 2009, I was standing out in the parking lot of he was on life support, and they took him off, and he kept breathing. And he was breathing for hours, a couple hours. And I was like, I'm going to go out and have a cigarette. Well, while I was down there, he dies. While I was down there, I didn't know that he died. And I'm standing down there at the car with my cousin and shit, and I look up and I see a single crow flying towards where his room would be. And it was kind of like on the other side of the building, but I saw a single crow flying that way, and I was, oh, whatever. It's a crow, whatever. And I go back up there, like, he passed. And I'm like, that's fucked. You know, that was kind of fucked. But the really big one that kind of makes me wonder is years ago, probably like 2012, 2013, my mom bought my kids like this little kid's laptop. You know, it was like Fisher Price.
Yeah.
Had 3 games on it. You know, help the mouse find the cheese. Fucking that kind of shit. So she gives it to them. And, excuse me, about a year later, they leave it outside in the rain. It's fried.
Yeah.
And it stays outside. It becomes an outside toy now. It stays outside for about 2 years. We're talking rain, snow, everything.
Yeah.
Stays outside for like 2 years. All of a sudden, one night, after my mom died, I was taking my garbage out. And I was walking around the back of the house, and it was really fucking snowy. Like, I was trudging through snow and shit. And I come around the corner to the backyard, and all of a sudden, that fucking thing is sitting on the picnic table, and it's got a fucking foot of snow on it, right? And it's open. All of a sudden, it just lights up. Help the mouse find the cheese.
Oh, shit, bro.
And first of all, it scared the fuck out of me. But, dude, this thing has been outside for like 3 fucking years.
Yeah, it should be gone.
This thing, there's no life in this thing. All of a sudden, it just popped on. Help the mouse find the cheese. And then it just, like, fucking shut off.
Wow.
And it was just really fucking weird.
That's kind of ominous, man.
Very. That's kind of why I don't know.
There's something, man.
According to my grandmother, my mom's in purgatory, though. So, like, she was so nonchalant about it. She was like, well, Tone, your mom's in purgatory. So, I'm like, what the fuck?
Why would you say that?
Well, my mom kind of drank herself to death.
Oh.
So, technically, you could call it possible suicide. Like, you did it to yourself.
Yeah.
But who knows? It was just so, she was just so fucking, oh, she's in purgatory, so it's all good. I'm like, damn, man. Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. When my mom died, my grandma looks at me. I'm sitting outside smoking a cigarette, and she looks at me and she's like, well, Tony, why didn't you stop her? Why didn't we stop her? And I'm like, Grandma, what am I supposed to do? Hey, you're doing something that could potentially kill you, Mom.
Right.
I mean, who am I to say shit? Fuck. But
I quit drinking because I haven't really drank a drop in probably, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years.
I mean, was it a problem?
It was never a problem for me. It was a problem for my family. Mm. I watched, a lot of the alcohol drinkers and users are probably going to hate me because I really strongly believe that alcohol is a gateway to really bad, negative stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I sat back and I watched it just tear apart my family for years and years and years, to the point where I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to drink too and just add to it. No, after my brother died, he was trying to, he had just quit drinking. Literally, he had just quit drinking. He'd probably been sober for, I don't know, a few months. And then all of a sudden, he just drops dead. In a hotel room up in fucking Fargo.
Shit.
Yeah, he drank like a fish out of water for... Dude, for what's
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
No, it's cave, man. He drank like a fish out of water for probably the better part of his adult life.
Yeah.
My dad did the same thing. He drank and drank and drank, and every now and then he'll still tie one on, but nothing like he used to. I could be prouder of my parents, man. My mom, especially my father. He has changed to be such a loving, caring person now. But it took the death to change it.
Yeah. Sometimes that's the only kick in the ass some people need, man.
This just really sucks. It sucks now. It sucked then. It's probably gonna suck forever. But I look at alcohol as a bad thing. It's one of those things that they should bring back prohibition. I really strongly believe that.
I mean, that's tough. Just because I don't like alcohol. I'm kind of an anti-alcohol person too, just because of what it did to my mom and stuff. But I can't really come down on anybody for doing anything.
No, I don't.
Well, that's what I mean, though. It's like I honestly believe that every drug should be illegal. I don't think that anybody should be able to regulate what I put in my fucking body or what you put in your fucking body.
I agree with that.
There are people out there like my dad and like me who can have 1 or 2 beers and that's it. That's all we need. But then there's people like my mom who it was 2 magnums of fucking wine a day or bust.
Wow, that's a lot.
Dude, okay. We used to play, everybody always, whenever I go out drinking and stuff, like, let's play some drinking games and shit. And they're like, you don't know this one? You don't know? I'm like, no, dude, the only drinking game that I was ever taught was go glass for glass with mom on some vino and see if you could actually keep up. See how long you got. Like, see if you could break your own record. You're not going to win. But you guys see if you could break your own record, you know?
Dude, my brother was the same way, bro. Like, he could probably tap a keg by himself. Mm. Yeah, he was that into it.
But like the other night when Tim was over here on the last show, he brought fucking 4 or 5 beers, maybe 4, I think. I drank 2 of those things, and I was like, I don't think I should be driving. Like, I am so not used to fucking alcohol whatsoever. But I've had some good fucking times on alcohol. I really have. But
I don't like the effects it gives me, man. You know, especially the next day. If you had too much, like the next day is absolutely hell.
Oh yeah, dude, shitting through a screen door, and fucking just
splitting fucking headache.
Oh god.
I mean, the last time I really tied one on, it was probably at my buddy's wedding, and I drank probably a fifth and a half of Jack Daniels myself. Jesus. I crawled. I crawled out of the 4-H building. I crawled from the backside where the back door is, you know, the big open area. Yeah. That's where they had like the dollar bride dance. That's the last thing I remember. I'm doing the dollar bride dance, and I set my. This is how drunk I was. I set my phone down, and then proceeded to throw my phone away. And it was a brand new Galaxy S5. Like, I had just got it, and I chunked it in the fucking trash. That's how shit-faced I was.
Jesus.
I remember bits and pieces. I took like 3 steps after I let go of her. She was a friend. I let go of her. I took 3 steps, and I just, hands and knees, I gotta go. I gotta leave.
Go, man.
Take me home. I don't want to be here no more. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But the next day was absolutely fucking terrible. Was I finally sobered up and realized I threw my brand new fucking phone away. I'm just like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill myself. You know. I lost all my contacts. I lost everything.
Yeah.
I pinged it. It had enough battery life. I pinged it the next day, and it was in the fucking landfill.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they had emptied the trash that morning. Just my luck.
My 21st birthday, I worked at the Zoo Bar in Aberdeen. You ever been to the Zoo Bar in Aberdeen?
I have not been there, but I've heard things enough that I don't want to go there.
Oh no, it's a good time. I mean, honestly, like I go to the zoo once a year maybe, and I'll do like 1 lap on a Friday or Saturday night. I'll do 1 lap around the bar and I'll fucking leave. Because I don't know anybody there anymore. Nobody that I worked with still works there. But when I did work there, my 21st birthday landed on a Sunday.
No.
So I had to go there Saturday night at midnight to drink. So I already got trashed to the fucking nines with Ronnie Little Bear and my girlfriend at the time, and we were drinking fucking Black Velvet, I think, something like that.
Oh, gross.
But I walk into the zoo, and you know my buddies are all working, but I wasn't working that night. I walk in, and Big John's at the fucking front till. And he slides me a Bud Light and a shot of Wild Turkey, because that's what I drank. I drank Bud Light and Wild Turkey. Then he's like, hey, go back to the shop bar. BJ's got something for you at the shop bar. So I go back to the shop bar, and BJ's like, tubes! And he rolls me a shot of turkey again. Take that fucker down. Then before I even have it down, he slides another fucking shot out there. Turkey, yes. Gulp, no. It's 151. Fuck. And now all of a sudden I'm running to the bathroom. I get in the bathroom. The hottest chick that worked in the bar was in there cleaning the bathroom. So I had to puke right next to her. And then after that, the only thing I remember is I woke up on my stove the next morning. And it was like a Pilot Light stove, too, so that's kind of fucking dangerous.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
My head was in my sink. I was on my stove. But I think I got to say this one. Okay, so the drunkest I think I've ever been was the night of my grandpa's funeral. Because there's a bar in Aberdeen called Schwanny's.
Yeah.
Schwann's Recreation down on like First Avenue or something, right on the other side of the tracks. And my grandparents lived kitty corner from that. And all my dad's life, my grandpa would come over to the Schwannies. He called it the joint. I'm going to the joint. And my grandpa was kind of an alcoholic. So when he died, my cousin Pete and my cousin Brad, Brad was in from Alexandria, Minnesota, and Pete was in from New York City. And they're like, we're going to the joint. And we're going to fucking drink for Grandpa. And they're drinkers. I'm not. So we go there and they fucking buy like a whole bottle of fucking, I think it was Lord Calvert. And they bought the whole fucking bottle and we proceed to get shit-faced at this bar. And I'm pretty sure it was like a bottle and a half of Lord Calvert. And this is coming to somebody who doesn't drink.
Yeah.
All of a sudden my Uncle Davey, my fucking cousin Brad's dad comes in. And he's old. You know, he's older. He's like in his 60s, 70s or something. He comes in and he chews our fucking asses. You guys know you got to be pallbearers in the morning. What the hell are you think you're doing? And I'm just sitting there like, fuck you, Uncle Davey. I'm just trash. I would never say this to this guy in real life. But fuck you, Uncle Davey. I don't give a shit. And so we sat there. We finished off like a bottle and a half, 2 bottles of fucking Calvert. And so Ashley had to take care of me that night. And I guess I threw it by a tree. I don't know. I don't remember that. But the next morning, I remember, God, we all just looked like shit. And we were standing with each other, and we see Grandma coming towards us.
Oh.
We're like, fuck. Fuck. And she comes up to us, and she's like, so, I want to talk to you boys. We're like, okay. And she's like, I heard you guys went over to the joint last night, and you guys got drunk. We're like, yeah, Grandma, we're sorry. She's like, no, that's good. That's what he would have done. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
Grandma's approval.
Yeah,
Stamp.
and so like the whole rest of the funeral, like people were giving us the stink eye because we're all just fucking hung over his shit. I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Grandma said it was
Grandma
okay.
said it was fine. God, that was the drunkest I ever been. No.
Oh man.
Let's stop talking about alcohol. Sitting here talking about, we don't really care for alcohol, and then we're talking about all these booze stories and shit.
I mean, I don't care for it anymore.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Like, dude, I would love, like, honestly, it's kind of like it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, maybe I should get drunk tonight.
Maybe.
You know, like I feel like a high school girl. Like, I think I might drink some alcohol tonight.
Ooh.
And I'll get one down. I'll be like, nah,
I'm good. I don't really want this to war.
So, switching topics here a little bit.
All right.
Actually, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to switch topics. We're going to, I'm going to throw you to a video of, it's an ad for the new podcast out of the Sioux Empire podcast called Edge Case, and it's like a Twilight Zone-y podcast that they have coming up in September. And check out the Sioux Empire podcast on YouTube and podcasting stations all over the place. Robert Mailing does a really, really good job with the Sioux Empire podcast, and I really, really enjoy all the weird stuff you guys got on there. So check this out. We'll be right back. This episode of the Dakota Podcasting Experience is brought to you by our friends at the Sioux Empire Podcast down in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Check them out on YouTube as well as the SiouxEmpire.com. They're also on Facebook. And also check out their new podcast coming out in September called the Edge Case Podcast. I'm really looking forward to it. So enjoy this short clip and then we'll get to the show.
At the fringes of perception, beyond the boundaries of your mind, just past the glow of the firelight, out of the corner of your eyes, you will find an edge case. Edge Case Podcast coming September 10th. Learn more at edgecasepod.com.
Welcome back to the Dakota Podcasting Experience. I'm Tony Tubes. I'm here with Will Robinson.
What's up?
Danger Will Robinson.
I knew you'd go there.
I had to.
I knew you'd go there.
Dude, I'm sorry. Your parents are probably awesome fucking people. But I mean, Twilight Zone was, or not Twilight Zone, Lost in Space was fucking like 1960s. They had to know that was going to be your fucking nickname. Like,
my, you know, they named me after 2 Pentecostal preachers. William, my first name, and Earl, my middle name. And both of those men were absolute fucking assholes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So, yeah.
That's good.
But, you know, well, they named me, you know, William. I absolutely hate the name William. I've never gone by William. I've always gone by Will. I don't like fucking Bill or Billy or none of that shit or fucking Willie. If you can call me William, Will, or Mr. Goddamn Robinson, man. You know, either one of those 3 I'll answer to. Anything else, you might get punched in the fucking face. And that, you know, I've heard that Lost in Space, Danger, Danger so many fucking times.
Oh, that's like people calling me Tony Baloney or Tony the Tiger. I hear all the time. Oh,
all the time.
Tony the Tiger. I'm like, yeah, motherfuckers. Like, I've never heard that before.
Right?
Jeez.
Say that there's one person on this earth that every time I see him, he never calls me by my name. He always says, "Hey, Danger." This has been that way forever.
Austin Danger Powers. No, Danger's my middle name. So I wanted to ask you, because we were talking about if we ever had like spiritual, you know, things happen to us and everything. Have you ever had any proof come to you, to your own eyes, that there is something else up there in the ways of?
I don't know about up there, but I really think there's spirits walking the earth, yeah.
Well, I was going to ask aliens.
Oh, aliens.
Aliens. That's what I think.
Well, you know, I'm a firm believer that aliens are absolutely fucking real. If not, it'd be an awful waste of space.
Right.
You know, it's really kind of absurd to think that we're the only intelligent or semi-intelligent life forms in the entire fucking universe.
That was exactly my point. Like, I used to date this girl. She was a really awesome girl, like on paper. You know, like
on paper.
Well, like, dude, grandma would love her, your mom would love her and everything, but like we just
didn't mesh.
We didn't. She was a Methodist Republican. And she was a thespian. So she, like, you know, drama,
yeah.
like, you know, like always on stage doing stuff. And I'm not, like, I do this and I do stuff. I do fucking stand-up comedy. I do music and everything. But I don't act.
Right.
I don't act. And if you better give me a lot of fucking money to act, man. I'm not going to fucking do it.
I do it just for the fun of it.
Well, I probably would too, but I'm not going to be any good at it.
No, neither will I.
But no, she was completely, no, there is no intelligent life anywhere else. I'm like, dude, that's egotistical to think that.
It is.
To sit there and think that we are the only planet, the entire fucking universe that, I mean, you can even, okay, if you have a planet that has little tiny microbes, that's a fucking alien.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
100%.
Might not be intelligent life, but it's alien to our planet. It's an alien species, an alien something. Like, come on, man.
You know, I've been watching a lot of these what am I trying to think of? Like reports and like documentaries over like other planets and dwarf planets and red planets and pulsars and all this shit. And it's like, you know, that's just what we can see from here.
Right.
You know, that's only what we can see. There's hundreds of trillions, if not quadrillions or whatever the fuck number you want to come up with, stars and planets out there. It's really kind of stupid to think that it's like a cosmic joke. If we're the only ones here, it's just a cosmic fucking joke. But we're not, though. You know, there's bound to be some other habitable fucking planet out there. We're just not seeing it. And we probably won't ever see it. Because,
I mean, shit, they just found that fucking black hole
Yeah.
You know, and how much fuck, like, I saw a picture of the girl that kind of, you know, spearheaded that. She's standing next to, like, hard drives, like a fucking, like, snow fort of fucking hard drives and shit she's hiding behind as to how much space it, like, how much data they needed to fucking do that, man. Yeah, man. That's,
Yeah, they found another planet that's a little bit bigger than Earth. It's called exoplanet, and they're not exactly sure of the chemical makeup, but they're projecting that it might be the next habitable planet that's similar to our own. The only bad part is
bad fart.
All right. The only bad part about it is like 2,000 light years away.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, like, the only way that humankind would ever make it there was if we had a self-sustainable ship that you would have a couple of generations of people living there.
Even to go from here to the farthest reaches of our solar system, dude, it would take 40 fucking years to make just one trip out there. You know, and that's, as far as light goes, that's nothing. That's like a little blip on the fucking radar. It's nothing. It's like a walk across the goddamn street. These planets, the number astronomical is just, they're so far away that, well, I don't think we'll ever get there.
No.
And if we do,
we need help.
We're not going to know what to do when we do get there.
Right.
You know, a self-sustaining ship, I think, would be cool. In theory, would be really cool. But to go 1 light year is like, for us, it's like 7,000 years. You know, so I don't think we'd ever have a ship capable of sustaining that amount of time to reach it. But you never know.
Yeah, dude, I'm the last
5 million years in the future, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
you know. But as far as technological advances, I think we've hit the peak probably for the next 1,000 fucking years.
I don't know. You know, like, I honestly think that there's actually, like, there is technology out there that we as citizens, just everyday normal citizens, don't know about. But I don't even know what the hell that would be. But all I know, there was one day I was in Aberdeen, and it was like, I want to say it wasn't sundown, but it was close to it.
Yeah.
And I was getting in my vehicle, and just out of the corner of my eye, and I had to go back to it, like, I saw something whiz across the sky and then kind of, like, almost do like a lightning bolt thing. And then, it was there.
And it just disappeared.
And there was, and it went so fast. Like, it was just, I saw it though, and I was like, what the fuck was that? And it did like this little zigzag thing, something so fast, man.
I've seen stuff like that too.
It's fucking weird, man.
You know.
So, and have you ever heard of Fire in the Sky? It's a movie.
No.
It's actually a book right there too. It's about this. It's the best documented case of an alien abduction ever. And it was in like 1978, and it was a guy named Travis Walton, and it was in Snowflake, Arizona, and like him and a logging crew were up doing their thing, and they were leaving, and they thought they saw a forest fire. So they go over to this, they drive towards it, and then they realize it's not a forest fire. There's something in the fucking sky and shit. It looks like it's red, and it looks fucking like fire. So they go there, and Travis Walton was the only guy that got out of the pickup. He got out, and everybody's like, get the fuck back up. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? He goes out there, then all of a sudden this big blue beam of light comes down, and he just kind of fucking does that number for a minute. Then he gets blown back like 15 or 20 feet, and they're like, he's dead. We're out. Right. So they fucking book it back, and all of a sudden the driver was like one of his best friends or something, and he lets everybody off a couple miles down the road, and he's like, I got to go back. He goes back, and Travis is gone. Nothing's in the sky anymore. And so for about like 5 or 6 days, the cops were trying to pin it on these guys, saying that they killed them up there.
Yeah.
They took lie detector tests, which they all passed except for one of the guys, but he was just kind of fucking tweaky anyways. But
Never could trust those tweakers, bad.
But yeah, man, and all of a sudden, Travis Walton shows up 5 days later at a broken down gas station somewhere, naked with a bunch of fucking holes in him and shit. He hadn't eaten anything. He was malnourished. Didn't know where the fuck he was at. Like, it was the craziest shit. And then shit started coming back to him and shit. And in the movie, that is a PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
Fire in the Sky. And it stars a guy named D.B. Sweeney. He was in that Cutting Edge movie. Did you ever see that? Where it's like the figure skater and the hockey player team up.
Yeah.
He was
the
hockey player. But
Okay.
It was him and the guy who played T-1000, Robert Patrick. That movie is a PG-13 movie, but it has the most intense, frightening, horrific fucking scene I've ever seen. When he has a full flashback of what happened when he was on their fucking ship. If he actually went through that, my fuck.
Now, see, now I'm going to have to watch that when I get home.
Yeah, look it up. I'm sure you can find it online somewhere.
Pretty sure. Pretty sure.
But yeah, man, like, so I totally believe in that shit. Like, I don't know.
They're finding markings and like fucking temples and shit all over the world that have nothing to do with Egypt. They found an actual Egyptian fucking temple in South America.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck does that happen? Like, it was put there.
Well, don't they all like have markings on them that are relatively the same?
Yeah,
but they're from different civilizations, thousands of miles apart and shit.
It's crazy, There's life out there. There's got to be, There's got to be. If there's not, then why the fuck are we here? Why are we here?
Because something splooged and a big bang happened, and
I believe aliens are our fucking predecessors. They're the ones that are here before us, and then there's no science really backing it, but I've seen like studies, or not studies, but like people talking about like we were genetically engineered and dropped here as like some kind of cosmic fucking joke. And it's crazy.
Maybe we were like their overlords, and they like took us over, and then they took and then to punish us, they brought us to this fucking planet.
And just said, "Fend for yourselves."
Yeah, toss us on this planet. There's a bunch of fucking fun shit out there, guys. You get some
tidal waves, tsunamis, earthquakes.
If you go that way, it's gonna be really fucking cold. If you go that way, it's gonna be really fucking hot.
And then get really cold.
And if you go that way, there's going to be 2 miles deep worth of ocean, in all directions. Fuck.
It's anybody that says that there's no aliens, well, they're fucking stupid.
Well, and some people would say that, about me saying, oh, well, I don't, or somebody who would say, I don't believe in God. Somebody might say, well, then you're fucking stupid. But
true.
I mean, there's really what's the definitive? There's no definitive evidence that there's life on other planets, or at least we haven't seen definitive evidence that aliens have come down to Earth before.
True.
That we know of. So technically, they're kind of in the same ballpark as, okay, do you believe in God? Well, no, but you believe in aliens. I just feel like that's more feasible. I believe that believing in aliens would be a little bit more feasible than believing in God. Because aliens, you look up there and, like you said, man, there's all this space. Mm-hmm. There's all these places out there and shit right now. And
millions, billions.
God, according to man, God is in this mythical place.
Well, I don't see it.
Right.
I can go look at fucking Neptune right now. I can go look at Venus right now. I can go look at the goddamn sun. Let's go look at the fucking moon.
Right.
These are all things that are physically there.
Mm-hmm. And there's physically other planets out there. They've found, like you said, they found other planets and shit out there.
They found millions. They found, they found, I don't know, probably in the last 100 years, probably 1,000 different planets.
Oh, I bet. I could just imagine. Have you ever seen? I'm kind of off subject, but sort of on subject. Have you ever seen? It's called Skyview. It's an app on your phone called Skyview.
I have not, but I would look at it up though. I mean,
I'm honestly, I'm gonna pull it up for you right now, and you can just see what I'm talking about. It's amazing, and everybody out there, check out Skyview. It's what it does is, it's just it just shows you. You look around. Fuck you! I'm not gonna upgrade. You can look around and you can find, like, just kind of pan it around. You'll find, like, they have the International Space Station, the sun, the moon, all the planets. It'll show you exactly where everything's at.
this constellation,
Yeah.
right down that way. This is fucking crazy. Like,
Yeah.
Taurus constellations out that direction.
If you point it that way, I think there's a planet over there somewhere. I saw one over there. But no, man, Skyview, it's amazing. Like, it shows
Mars
right
is
that
right
way.
fucking there. Dude, that's crazy. I'm gonna download that tonight, man. That's cool.
It's awesome. And then there's also one that we found yesterday called Flight Radar 24. And what it is, and we were like seriously geeked out on this shit for like an hour. You look up in the sky, you see a plane, you get into that, it'll tell you exactly what plane that is, where it's coming from, where it's going. Some of them are NA because they're private owners and shit like that. But yeah, man, like, you can, like, the whole world, you can see.
That would be like a terrorist wet dream. Be like, just put it up there, like, hey, yeah, that flight there. You know, that's not funny, but that's like a real thing. Like that's not. I feel that's maybe something they would fucking use to like plan some shit out or something. I don't fucking know.
It's amazing, dude. Like, I could sit there and I could, like, oh, what's this fuck? Like, I this morning or something like that, like, someone going from, like, Beijing to fucking Atlanta or something like that was going over us or something. Yeah, I was like, what?
I'd be surprised how many flights come over South Dakota, especially going north to south every
Fly
single
over
day.
states.
Like, whenever I was up working in North Dakota, I would fly from North Dakota to Houston probably every 3 to 4 months, and for, like, what I would call a vacation. My vacation was going home.
Right.
So I'd go home for a couple weeks, and I shit you not, man, I'd fly to fucking Minot, and then they have like these little maps that you can follow along the ground where you're going. Mm-hmm. Go pass right over Aberdeen, same fucking every day, every time. And it's like, oh, I wonder what's down there. I wonder what Aberdeen's like. This is before I ever come to this fucking state.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, I wonder what that down's like down there. And well, now I know. And it's like, okay.
So how did you make it here?
Oh, the story.
Like, how did you make it to this fucking couch, man?
This couch.
Like, from Texas.
Yeah, from Houston, Texas. Well, I say Houston. I'm from a little town called Dayzetta. It's Dasietta.
All right.
That's where I grew up. I was born in Longview, which is a story in itself. But no, I got here through. Ever seen that movie Lemony Snicket's Series Unfortunate? There you go. Just follow the path, man. That's how I'm here. So a bunch of unfortunate events happened. That put me in South Dakota. Number one, a female.
It's always a boy or a girl. If anybody is here from a different state, they're always here because of a boy or a girl.
Well, I followed her here because she had lived up here before, and it's somebody. Her name is Melissa, which we're still friends to this day. I've been friends with her for probably 33 years since I was born. You know, we dated for about 3 or 4 years, 4 or 5 years, something like that. I can't remember. But she lived up here, and then she moved back to Texas, and she always wanted to go back. Well, I had an opportunity. I was coming up this way to work. I was heading up somewhere else, and a buddy of mine that lived here in Redfield, I think he lived at Green Acres, he was like, And anytime you come through, man, you always come stay here. Well, the job that I was going to get up here kind of fell through because they wound up not doing the turnaround, the shutdown after all. And then I was like, sitting back and I was grinding the wheels for a while. I was like, where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? Finally, I just said, fuck it. We're just going to go. And she's like, you know what? Let's go. And that's why we followed each other up here. And stayed here for about a year. And then she cheated on me, blah, blah, that whole fucking story. And, we patched things up. We got back together. And then I was like, well, if we're gonna stay together, then we're not gonna stay here. We're gonna leave because obviously bad memories. So that's when I found out my father was in North Dakota, and I told him, he was working in the oil field up there. And I was like, I want in, get me an opening. As soon as there was an opening, man, I got hired on the fucking spot. Moved up there. I was up there for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9 months, like that. It was all a fucking blur, man. It really was. Like, the time up there, stood still. So much going on. So much going on. It never slept. Never fucking slept. She wound up going back to Texas, where ultimately we split up for good. And I got invited to a wedding here in Redfield 3 or 4 years ago. Actually, 4 years ago. Got here for the wedding and just never left. And I got the job at SDDC. And that's where I met you.
That's it.
That's where I met you. And here I am.
Fucking A, dude.
3.5 years later, here I am.
Well, I'm glad you made it here because I wouldn't have met you if you didn't.
That's very true.
I like having you here.
I am a pretty awesome guy. What can I say?
Here's to you, Mr. Robinson.
I appreciate that, bud.
But hey, I think we're honestly kind of out of time. It's been about an hour.
Has it?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
It goes quick.
We're about chewing the fat pretty quick.
But I definitely want to have you back on.
Oh, for sure.
We'll fucking do this again sometime. So thanks, Will. Thanks for being on my show, man.
Well, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for watching. Hit me up on Twitter at TonyTubeser. You can hit the Dakota Podcasting Experience up on Twitter and Facebook, both at Dakota Podcast. If you need to email me, if you still do that, at DakotaPodcasting, DakotaPodcasting at gmail.com. Once again, check out EdgeCase and Sioux Empire Podcast, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks, Will Robinson.
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.